What we are going to demonstrate is the principles of a hydraulic press. What we've got here is two syringes connected by a rubber tubing, and inside the tubing and syringe is water. If I apply pressure to the smaller syringe, the piston moves about 6 centimetres, whereas the piston here only moves 2 or 3 millimetres. If I move the piston 2 or 3 millimetres here, it moves 6 centimetres here. The force applied to the different pistons is greatly different. The pressure of the fluid is equal throughout the system, whereas the forces on the pistons are completely different and are proportional to the area of the syringes. So, small force applied to the small piston and a small movement happens in the larger piston, but it takes a lot more force to move the bigger piston to move the small piston. We've got a different system here, different size syringes. The bigger syringe is the same size as the previous syringe, but the small syringe is a lot bigger than the previous syringe. It's probably half the radius of the syringe, the big syringe. So if I move the syringe 2 or 3 centimetres here, this piston moves about 6 centimetres. If I move this piston 6 centimetres, this piston moves 2 centimetres. There is a difference in force, but it's not as great as there is a difference in force, but it is not as great in the previous case. Now for the close-up. I push the small piston 6 centimetres. This piston only moves 2 centimetres. 2 millimetres rather. If I push this piston 2 or 3 millimetres, this piston moves 6 centimetres. If I push this piston 6 centimetres, this piston only moves 2 or 3 millimetres. Reverse the process. There is a big difference in the force I have to apply to each syringe. I have to apply a greater force on the big syringe, whereas a little force on the small syringe causes a little movement on the big syringe, whereas a big force on the big syringe causes a big movement on the small syringe. Just showing the second case, difference between the syringes is a lot less. So move this syringe 6 centimetres, this syringe moves 2 to 3 centimetres, and reverse the process.